In this video I want to talk through how to mix peptides. A lot of people seem to have a little bit of trouble when it comes to mixing up growth hormone, Melanotan, TB500, BPC157 or any other peptide that they may use. So it's very simple, but if you've never been shown, I understand where there's some confusion and people are a little bit worried that they might mess it up. It's usually the thing that people say. I don't want to mess it up. And I understand that if it's an expensive peptide, you don't want to mess it up. So today, I'm going to mix some BPC157 and then I'm going to administer it just to show you some of the ways you could do it. Because with things like BPC and TB500, we often try and put it near to the area that is problematic. Although they still go systemic anyway, so you would still get them all over the body and it will reduce things like inflammation and increase repair of tissue all over the body. You're still likely to put it closer to the area. So, some people have elbow problems, so we're trying to get it in near the elbow. Maybe knee problems, that it'd be coming up just below the knee. You could even put it into the teardrop of the quad. Although that's a little bit awkward, I will try and get it on camera if I can get back far enough. Like I said, the main thing is just mixing it. It's quite simple. You can put it anywhere. It can go sub-Q. It can go intramuscular. The only one I'd say normally you put sub-Q, and I've never heard of anyone put it intramuscular, is Melanotan. So that you'd often put just sub-Q, and the sub-Q areas are just obviously bottom of the stomach, grab the fat, go, or because I've obviously had my surgery here, there's not as much fat to grab, so I usually use my lower back because I can still grab some there. So it's just grabbing a little bit of fat in the area, so if you leave, grab, for most people that'd be fine. So here, take the cap off. I've already got handy, obviously, fresh insulin pin and some bacteriostatic water. I just get this in a big bottle from the Peptide website. So if you look on any of the Peptide websites, you can get that. You can also get the little snapper vials that you sometimes get from the pharmacy, or anything else that just might be a little bit of sterile water or some bacteriostatic water, holds a little bit longer, which is why we can use that. So first of all, there would often be a different pressure inside the vial. So we take a full vial of air and put it in first, because then when the air goes in there and the pressure equalizes, when you then put the water in, it won't do the same. Especially with things like growth hormone, it's really tightly packed in with a different pressure. So as soon as you put that in, it'll fire in. Well, if that's with water, it fires into the peptide and it can damage it. Because obviously it's very delicate. All these peptides are very delicate. It's why we keep them cold. It's why we have to treat them with care when we're putting the water in. So from here, cap off, stick that in there, and then just gently nudge that, and you can see it's just going down on its own. And down slowly on its own as everything equalizes. So now when I put the water in, get my 1 ml of water. And people also ask, how much water should I mix it with? It doesn't matter. What matters is that you know how much each 0.1, for example, equates to. So for this, if I'm going to go with 1 milliliter of water, I have a 5 milligram BPC157, then each 0.1 will be 500 micrograms. So then it will be 1,000 micrograms for a 0.2. So if I'm trying to do 1,000 micrograms a day, I'm going to do 0.2 per day. If I was to put 2 milliliters of water in, and then obviously half that. So just being aware of that. The water doesn't actually matter how much you put it in. All you need to know is how much that equates to when you're taking it back out, because obviously you need to know the dosage. Much like if you're using your normal testosterone nantha, is 250 milligrams per mil. Testosterone propionate is 100 milligrams per mil. But so it doesn't matter how much is mixed into 1 mil. What's relevant is how many milligrams are you trying to get out. So just the same here, how many micrograms am I actually trying to get out of this? So from here, I'll come a little bit closer. I just try and get it, if you look on the rubber cap, it's like a little dinted bit. So I go there, and I point that just slightly up, and very, very gently, you can see it, probably can't see because my fingers are in the way, and it's literally dripping in. Just dripping in very gently. Don't want to fire the liquid in, just take your time. I actually tend to drip it all in at the other end of the vial and then just turn the vial upside down, because then there's no pressure. There's no pressure behind the water. It's just gently going in. Very slowly. Okay, it's just now hit the solution and it's dissolved instantly, which would usually happen because the puck, it can sometimes move but should dissolve very quickly. If it doesn't dissolve very quickly, it would often be a sign of a poor quality product. But if it dissolves straight away like that, there might be a little bit left over. Never ever shake it. As I say, we want to be very delicate putting the water in. You don't shake, you don't do anything apart from take that out, maybe roll it a little bit. I'm just very gently rolling it with my fingers. That's it. Very gently, very carefully, and you'll see the solution start to mix. Now, if we want to just leave that for a few minutes, that's fine. It's still going to stay cold. A lot of people are paranoid about leaving it out of the fridge. For this for a few minutes, it doesn't matter. It's not even hot today anyway, so it's not a big deal. Just very carefully mixing that. And then when it's ready, you can take, obviously, a fresh insulin pin. So we'd put that in our sharp spin, take a nice fresh one. And then a lot of people are saying like, okay, they're so used to changing the needle tip when they're making injectables, they forget that something like this, you can't backload water into an insulin pin, and there's no need to. So if I'm only just drawing in there, drawing in, there's absolutely no reason to backload this. If you try and backload an insulin pin with water, you'll probably fire loads of it out. Oil will just drop down to the bottom and it's easy. But oil you can't draw through, which is why we backload insulin pin in the first place, which is covered in another video. So dead simple, just draw it in. I've also been asked, can you mix peptides together? Yes, you can. The only time you'd hit a problem is if you start mixing things like insulin and things like that in. Start mixing different things in. These have got a lot of preservatives in the pens because obviously they stay in as liquid form for a long time and they can be stable at room temperature and stuff like that. So they can mess it up due to the preservatives in them. But if it's, for example, TB500, the BPC that we've mixed with the same bacteriostatic water, you can mix them in the same. So obviously I draw 0.2 of one, 0.2 of the other, and then stick it in wherever I'm going to do that. It would slightly blunten the needle because I then go through 2 rubber plungers, but still not enough, that much. Just don't worry about it. It's so small with an insulin pin, it will still go in. So now that's fully mixed and ready to go. So from here, just bringing that in. So I'm gonna do a kneecap, a kneecap injection today because obviously people are asking where's best to do it. Well, if we're going to intramuscular, it's very simple. Like if I've got a problem in my shoulder, for example, and I'm going to go into my delt, we don't need to show that. Everyone knows how to inject into the delt. They won't know how to go sub-Q in front of their knee. So that's why I thought that would be the best choice for this video, because it's somewhere that people might be unsure of. And it's also a place that you can put other things like insulin. So you'll find a lot of diabetics start to use below the kneecap for insulin, not other medications. So they're not continually using the same place. Obviously, if they continue putting insulin around the belly button, you can get a localized fat buildup in that area. So that's why we would often go to a different place. So from here, drop my pants down. Actually, no, if I pull it up. Pull it up. So if we can just get it on. Right, it's just on camera. Okay, so all I do is pinch underneath my kneecap and then stick it in there. So you'll be able to stick it straight in and then do the shot there. So very, very simple. So you can see the skin there, just pinched. and you can get enough. I'm not just getting skin, I'm trying to get as much area as I can to then go as a sub-Q shot underneath. Like I say, it can go intramuscular, it can go sub-Q, you can put it anywhere you want, it's still going to go systemic. Most people have got more than one problem anyway, so it's advisable to go in different areas, but just go close to the area, and it's only going to aid that area more, or aid everything else in the process as well. So hopefully that is peptides rounded up. I think I've answered everything there. Any other questions, let me know. Speak to you later.